The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch UK Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Paranormal Concept right here on Parasearch UK Radio with your host, Paul Rook.
And good evening and welcome to another edition of the Paranormal Concept. I was going to say something else then, but never mind. Yes, so tonight I've got a very full house. We have joining us Kerry Greenaway, as always. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic after the weekend we had. It was blinding. It really was.
I know. I'm still buzzing. I'm still buzzing from this weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we'll talk about that in a minute. We've also got Asley Knibb in the house.
Hiya, Paul.
Hello, how are you? Have you recovered?
I think I've recovered. I'm not entirely sure though. I'll let you know.
Awesome. And we also have Vivien Powell. Hello, Viv.
Yo. Hello.
How are you?
Knackered.
I can totally understand that. And last but not least, Sean Cadman. Hello, Sean.
Good evening, all.
Good evening. And yeah, so we've got a full house tonight. So you're all going to be fighting over the mics. So be good. For those of you that don't know, we attended the Paraforce Paranormal Convention at Crescent Temple Barnes. So what did you think of the barn? Is that the first time that you've been there, Viv?
No. I've been investigating Crescent Temple Barnes along with Essex Ghost Hunting Team over the past 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I know the site quite well.
Brilliant. And what sort of activity have you got there in the past?
I photographed the Cavalier in the house. I've seen lots of monks. Been scared by lots of rats.
And this is why you chose the location for your paranormal convention?
No, it's because of the history. It's a great big place. It's not a small place. It's huge, and for the history, it holds some of the oldest buildings. The timbers there date to the 12th century. It's just a fantastic place to be. And I mean, I don't know what Sean thought, but I thought he liked it when I first showed him.
Yeah, definitely. It was such an atmospheric, ancient, historic site. It was, when we had a look round, it was a no-brainer that we had to use it.
Yeah. Was that the first time you'd been there as well, or?
The first time I went was when we first went to have a look round it, to scout it out as a location. Viv and Andy suggested, let's go and have a look. We went and had a look, and it was like perfect. Yeah. Just what we're after.
I must admit, I thought it was fantastic. I've never been there before, but like Ashley was saying a bit earlier, he pictured it to be a bit smaller than what it actually was.
It just falls into the thing that we want to try something different each year. So we've gone from like Galleries of Justice to there, and two totally different sites.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was the convention for you? Like, because obviously you've put it all together, and how did you feel after the event?
Humbled and tired.
Still recovering from the after show party, so to speak.
I think he's still recovering from the last 6 months.
It's true, that is.
Yeah. Ashley, was it the first time you've been there?
It's my first visit to Crescent Temple Barns. Yeah, and yeah, as you mentioned, I did think it was a little bit smaller than the actual site was.
Yeah. So what did you think of it?
Well, it's got a link to the Knights Templar, and I love things about the Knights Templar, so I thought it was a fantastic place to do it. So, and once I got there and looked around a few of the barns and bits and pieces, managed to get into the house as well with Viv's help on the Saturday night. I think it's quite an atmospheric, quite a cool little location, actually, to be fair.
Yeah. I must admit, I did speak to Andy from the Essex Ghost Hunting team, and he suggested that I could possibly go back with a small team and have a look around and do our own investigation. So I'm going to take him up on that at some point. So got to be done. Yeah. Kerry.
Yes, darling.
There you are. Somewhere. Stop hiding underneath the furniture and joining the conversation.
I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was really beautiful location. It was nice and spread out. So like you had space where you could go and explore and, different rooms and stuff. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I loved the location. I'd like to go back with a smaller team and really get to grips with it. But it was an amazing location.
Yeah, I totally agree there. It was really good. Yeah. So why did you... What was your inspiration, Viv and Sean, for putting on the conventions in the first place? Because this is your second one, isn't it?
Sort of.
Okay.
So, second and a half.
Go on, Sean. You explain, Sean.
Originally was involved with Paracon 2014. Mainly helping behind the scenes, getting a lot of things in place and set up. Ready to start 2015, which due to circumstances that we won't go into didn't happen. All fell apart. And then we were getting inundated, Vivien and myself, with messages after messages of people saying, why don't you do one yourselves? Carry another one on. So after having a chat, I thought, why not? Give it a go. How hard can it be? And the answer to that's very, but we're still doing it.
No, I mean, I must admit, I did wonder what was in store for us, to be fair, because I've never done a convention like that before, and I was a bit dubious. But actually, having gone now, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And, as we were saying off air a little while ago, it gives people a good chance to build bridges and actually meet people face to face.
Yeah.
And you haven't got none of this Facebook bitching and stuff, and it was absolutely fantastic. I certainly built a few bridges. It was good.
Yeah, that's part of the main inspiration behind it, is to bring people together.
Yeah.
People that you just chat with over Facebook, you can finally meet them and talk. Everybody exchanges ideas. Like I say, bridges are built and friendships are made. That's what it's all about.
But not only that, you get to meet the guest speakers.
Yes.
They're sitting there with you. They're walking around chatting to you, and it's not as though they've got two heads or they're that far away that you can't reach them and talk about the flavour of the packet of crisps you're eating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just ordinary, normal people. Well, everyone apart from Joe Chin.
I must admit, I did like Joe. He was quite funny. And him and Barry together.
They're classic.
Comedy double act. You could have like a comedy hour after.
Speaking to Joe, and Joe was telling us some of the conventions he's been to in the States, the celebrities are all but locked into rooms, and people have to queue up to go in to see them, and they're not allowed out to mingle with people.
Okay.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Is that because they're so big, though, Sean? Is that because they've got like thousands of people or hundreds and hundreds of people?
Some of the smaller conventions are like that over there.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But the way we see it, and I think the feedback from our guests, they love just being able to mingle with people and chat, and people ask them questions and talking to them. They absolutely love it.
I think that could just be because of the society that they're in. I mean, because maybe they do it for the other conventions as well. and that just sort of took their lead from them. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's nice to sort of give it that personal touch where you can go and approach them and talk about anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well,
that was really lovely to do, actually, is just talk to people, and you never felt that anybody was like above you. You know what I mean? That's what I took from it, was that I learnt so much. That weekend.
Yeah, I must admit that's exactly what I was about to say. Actually, it just shows that okay, they're not experts; they are experienced investigators.
Yeah.
So we've all got our own experiences, and we are at basically all the same level, no matter how much experience you've got. So I mean, sharing it, I think that's quite a good idea, and I'm gonna be raving about para conventions for ages now.
Sure. We've created a monster in Paul now.
Yeah,
I want more now. That's it.
But the good thing is as well, I'm sure Viv will agree, we learn every year as well. We learn off our guests, we learn what not to do and what we can improve on for the following convention.
Yeah.
So it's a learning process for us as well every year.
Well, that's it. I mean, it just gets bigger and better every year then, and
yeah.
Absolutely. I think people love it already, to be fair. Yeah.
And nobody wanted to take Boris home, so he'll be back next year.
Oh, okay.
Boris the Ghost?
Yeah.
No.
He'll be back next year for a bit of...
See, I came in on Saturday night after the hour break we had, and there was 3 blokes there. I can't remember what team they were from, and they were just standing there in awe of this ghost. It was just so, I expected them to actually take it home with them.
We might have to turn him into a mascot.
Yeah,
stolen.
That's a good idea. Yeah, put a Paraforce t-shirt on him, and yeah why not? People will love that.
The Spectre Ghost Seekers. Wasn't that team that was sitting there just staring at them? I think it was them lads. Yeah, they were brilliant.
I expected them to take it home with them, to be fair. Make you an offer for him. But no, I do like the whole paranormal convention idea and bringing people together away from social media. Definitely.
But it was lovely to see all the comments from people that attended at the conference on social media. I caught up with some today, and there was a lovely one that was aimed at our Sean that sat on reception.
She's lovely.
She always had a smile and hi, how you doing? And that went a long way. Everybody's friendly, but it was just extra special, and it gave me a warm glow in my heart that somebody noticed the hard work and effort that Sean put into it, and tried to please. I mean, she's a good-looking person anyway. Little cow bag she is, but no. But
she gets a lot off her dad.
She does. But she gets a lot of attention anyway. But for them to recognise her, just sitting there and greeting everyone, I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Your whole team worked really hard, and it pulled it off really well. Absolutely.
Yeah, no one was unapproachable. That was the thing I found, was nobody was unapproachable from the team working. And no matter how much pressure, you guys must have been under so much pressure at various times throughout the event, because that's what events do, don't they? They put pressure on you at certain times. None of your team showed that. They were all really approachable. They were all really friendly. They were all so helpful. And we had such a laugh with those people as well. So, and that makes it. Those kind of things make it. Because we never saw any of the sagas, which I'm sure were going on.
Well, I think by Saturday morning, I think me and Sean had said, oh, whatever. It will be what it will be, didn't we, Sean? I don't care anymore.
All the sagas usually explode during the week before, and then Saturday morning, right, sod it. Let it run. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Build it and they will come.
Oh, by the way, Sean, I've got all your all the haunted magazines here. I think I've got to get some of these back to you.
Oh, dish them out at events, Viv.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
I've spoken to Paul Stevenson as well from the Haunting magazine, because he's going to let us stock some of his magazines as well. So we're going to sell them at our events. So we're like an official stockist as well. So yeah, that's building bridges comes from paranormal conventions, and I think that's definitely the way forward. Absolutely.
Get everybody together to have a laugh. They forget about all their issues.
Yeah, that's it. Totally.
Or talk about them and actually bring it out and actually have a face-to-face conversation. And like we said before, we actually came live. What you see on social media or what you hear, it's not the same as sitting face-to-face with somebody and going, okay, what the hell happened there? Yeah. You know what I mean? And actually talking to people face-to-face, it goes a long way, doesn't it?
Definitely.
And I think as well, like with the awards, we came under a little bit of fire for having an awards, and it's just a bit of fun. It's like, for God's sake, we don't take any of it seriously. Yeah. It's about you, the people. It's about, sending in nominations or voting for whoever. We count them up at the end. Whoever's got the most wins it. That's it. Job done.
Yeah.
And it's just to give back to the community a little bit. And it's not a competition.
No, we got accused of making the paranormal into a competition. Why is it? It's not making anything to a competition. It's just a bit of fun, a laugh, and a wind down at the end of the weekend where everybody can enjoy themselves. A few people can get recognised, that other people have recognised what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, when I first did hear that you was doing the awards as well, I thought, well, there's going to be teams out there that could possibly win it and think, well, we are better than you lot.
Yeah. I'm sure you will get that.
And that was sort of a concern, I suppose, of mine.
I think some people think that the Paraforce team decide on the awards themselves. Yeah. That's why they said it's a competition. But it's absolutely nothing to do with us. The only one we decide on is the Outstanding Achievement Award. Everything else is voted for by the public.
Yeah,
we've got no input whatsoever.
Actually experiencing the convention and the way it is put forward to everybody, it is something for us to enjoy. So even down to the awards at the end, it should be taken in that context. It's just a bit of fun, not to be taken seriously at all. It just gives us a little bit more fun. I mean, okay, some people might make it go to their heads a little bit, but I mean,
I don't think they would, Paul. I honestly don't think they would. No, I honestly don't think they would, because of the way it was done. It was fun. It was really fun. And who doesn't want a Scary Mary? Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get the Oscars. It's a Scary Mary you want.
Exactly.
It's a Scary Mary that's not so scary.
Exactly.
The hardest problem is now Viv's got to decide each year how to decorate the next Scary Mary to make it different.
It's blue. It's blue.
Go for blue.
Red, white, and blue, and then Union Jack, and then red, white, and blue again, and then Union Jack. So every year it will change. But I'm dreading the Union Jack year because that'll just Sean, you're coming round mine for a week while we do the Scary Marys.
Decorate them all.
Yeah. So now you've got to collect the set now.
Yeah,
you've challenged it now, haven't you? Yeah, you've got a set to collect. What happens when you get the set, though?
Start again from the beginning.
I've won a set award.
Oh dear.
In years to become, they could be worth money, just like the piggies in the piggy banks.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Yeah, the NatWest pigs, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you never know. Never know, indeed. Hopefully, the conventions are getting bigger and better, I'm sure, and I'm really looking forward to next year's one. I want VIP tickets for myself, a stall ticket for the team.
I love the way he's getting his orders in now at this point. You haven't even recovered from the last one, and he's already saying, right, now we want to do this, and this.
It is actually unbelievable the amount of people have been asking already, are tickets on sale yet? I said, well, I don't even know where it is. I don't care. I want to buy a ticket.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you got to have a little bit of time to put it all together ready.
Yeah.
We after Paraforce, when we were in the hotel in the bar just relaxing with a few drinks, we were told by certain guest speakers, right, so next year when I come back I want this. Do you remember, Sean? It's
what? Yeah.
So I'll just get my diary out for next year and start writing your requirements down now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every guest speaker we've had wants to come back. It's like,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. And they were all great. I mean, I have to say, I would sat in as many as I could. And, oh, my goodness, some of them are awesome, absolutely awesome.
I was a bit disappointed that the Ghostbusters didn't bring Slimer, but...
Slimer was locked away in the car because I actually went and cuddled him. I went and had a cuddle and a ride in the car and cuddled Slimer.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the... Yeah, I didn't go to the car.
I mean, bless them, they did all that off their own back.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, it was a good... It was a good touch, I think. That was quite good. Just a bit noisy when they turn the sirens on and you try and listen to the guest speaker.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Okay, we'll blame you. Don't do it again.
Sean, make a note to do it more often.
Yeah. Park the car the nearest to Paul's seat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Totally. I'll take it for a spin. Don't worry, it's fine. And also, I mean, you also had a few technical issues with David Farrant.
We did, yeah. But it was the first time we tried a Skype one, and but it's worked out because I'm gonna, as you know, Paul, we're going down to see David Farrant, and we're going to film a little something with him with one of his videographer. What they call it, a videographer.
Yeah.
Ash will know.
Yeah.
Videographer, and they're going to make a bit of a film out of it. So that'll be a nice hot date that we got together, Paul. When I can sort that out.
It will, won't it? Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that as well. That'd be good. That'd be a good day out.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Because I've not actually met David face to face. I've interviewed him a few times, but not.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that. So, have we got any questions from the chat room yet, Kerry?
Not yet. No, we have got people in the chat room. We've got Andy Radley. I need to give Viv a big cuddle and a big kiss from Andy Radley.
Oh, tell Andy, no tongues now.
We've got Lindsay Waghorn in there. We've got Snarky of Oz. And at the moment, we also have Steph Doyle in the chat room. So, guys, if you are listening, join us in the chat room and be part of the discussion.
Absolutely. More the merrier.
I do know Maxine is listening because she's messaged me saying, send me the link. So I know Maxine's out there listening. She's not in the chat room yet, but she is having a little listen.
Yeah. Okay. Who have you got a favourite guest speaker that was there?
Whoa.
Viv.
Who's that?
Viv.
Sorry.
Out of all the guest speakers he had, who was the one that I don't know, what's the word, shone through for you?
I can't say I've got a personal favourite out of everybody, but I think for his first time, I think Tomo did a fantastic job.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I think he took to it like a duck to water. I think it was great to see him walking around with a smile on his face, enjoying himself. In his talks, he just stood up, seemed a bit nervous for the first couple of minutes, then off he went, and it was great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, give people like Tom a chance. He works really hard for what he does. Not only his radio station, but just general his writing that he does, his investigations and everything else. And I think part of Paraforce, giving people like that chance to show what they do.
Yeah.
I think it was great for him, bless him.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first time I met him as well. And to be fair, that's a friendship made out the back of Paraforce as well for me. So.
And me. Yeah, he's lovely. He's absolutely lovely, is Tomo.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Even though he is the competition.
But as well, I think at the same token, like for me as well, Michael Roberts, or Michael D, his stage name.
Awesome.
He spoke about him, the person, and not his alter egos. So where they come from. Again, it's seeing the person for who they are, and not this this stage person. Do you know what I mean? Like, not his characters. So for the same reason as Tomo. It's just to see them for who they are, and they talk about what hard work and stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and I
think it was good for people to hear Michael's story of how he started, how he got into what he's doing, and where his inspiration for his different shows has come from.
Yeah, I must admit that he spoke about coming down to Essex to do Kelvin Hatch Nuclear Bunker. And I was actually supposed to be on that event, but something happened last minute that I couldn't actually make it. So I could have met him then, but obviously it didn't happen. I have interviewed him a few times on radio, and he's a really difficult bloke to pin down for an interview, but no, he's a fantastic person to interview, and I'd like. He's quite a good bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, what I liked about his particular speech was he included his audience, and at the end of his speech or his talk, it went into a discussion, didn't it, Asley?
Yeah, it sparked quite a big, well, not big, quite a good little debate sort of going on about bits and pieces. I think it was off the back of the Stone Tape Theory as well, wasn't it, that it started it all off?
Yeah.
So, which is really, really good. And that's part of the conventions that I really love, is where you suddenly get that outburst and that sudden conversation about something to do with the paranormal, and everyone's throwing their ideas in, and then all that kind of stuff. It's not an argument. It's kind of like this is my viewpoint, and this is my viewpoint, and everyone goes, hang on, actually, and do you know what I mean? It kind of I think that's what's really great about the conventions, because you get that understanding from each other.
Yeah. And you sort of all learn from each other as well, and I think that's quite a good way to go. So keep it up. It's awesome.
Yeah. See, Tomo was really good at that as well, wasn't he, actually? We saw him on the Sunday, and he was with Jason Day doing the rooms. They do a room 666 over on Pulse Talk, and that was really funny, wasn't it? And again, audience participation in that was incredible. Everyone was talking. It got into some quite little discussions going on between people, and then afterwards, when that section finished, people were still talking about it and putting their points of view, and that was absolutely brilliant. And again, me and Asley were quite involved in that, and that was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it, Asley?
Yeah, it was. I mean, he took on some quite little gems to chuck into room 66 as well. Like, I think it was exclusivity to locations and things like that as well, and in fact, that was it looks like we've run out of time kind of a situation, which I thought was fantastic.
No, there were some really good guest speakers this year, and I think the ones that stood out for me was Barry Fitzgerald and Joe Chin.
Oh, yeah.
They are like an awesome double act. It's like Little and Large all over again.
Mind you, I think John Blackburn was his talk was just, if anyone went into the very first talk, that was absolutely amazing, and to see some of the reactions with people that had to run out and leave the area pretty quickly. I mentioned no names because they all became very emotional with the energies that were going on in there from this painting. But I mean, I'm biased. I love John Blackburn anyway, you know.
Yeah.
But
I didn't get to see him. I think the plan was I was going to see him on the second day, but then things changed through the thing, so he was put back into the granary. But there was someone else on at the same time that I didn't see the first day, so unfortunately I missed his talk both times. But it was difficult to decide which one to miss because I wanted to see both of them. But but I don't know if you're going to be there next year.
I was lucky. I was very lucky enough to see both John's talks because I was incredibly interested in how he's working with this painting that he's done. And for me, on a personal level, working energy, that was incredibly interesting for me. And he's so nice. Him and Maxine are, they're lovely, really lovely people. And Asley and I had a private conversation with them after the second workshop. And they're just so giving with, you know, I was a little worried when we was having a conversation about some of the things I'd picked up on, and we were talking about that, but they were so like able to, they listened and they were like understanding of what was said, and it was actually quite incredible. And actually, you're going on to work a little bit more with them out of this as well, aren't you?
You drop me in it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, was that a secret? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he is now.
No, it's not a secret now, is it?
I was just asking Maxine if it's all right. Yes, I've inquired with John and Maxine if I can work with them to look into, because I have a massive fascination for physical mediumship, with like the experiments like the skull experiment and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of my research has been delved into that area. So I've actually spoken to him about getting involved and sort of investigating it a little bit, like I do.
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
and all this on the back of a convention.
They might not like me poking my nose around because you know what I'm like.
Yeah, we want to see the blocks. We want to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll definitely be there. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
that'd be good.
Just so you know, guys, Joe Chin, I've just told Joe Chin to join. He's actually speaking with Andy Radley right now, and I said, tell him to listen to the show. And he was like, okay, I've told him. And Stephen Paul Wright has joined as well, who I believe is K-Core.
Cool.
So they're around now. So hi, guys.
Hello, everybody in the chat room.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that in there.
Hello, Joe Chin.
Yeah, and he won the award for best pin-up or male pin-up.
Paranormal pin-up guy.
That's the one. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that was really good. Right, yeah.
I think the shock on his face just said it all, didn't it? He said to me, "Have they seen my face?" Bless him.
I saw Joe's talk when he did his own talk, and then I saw Barry do his own talk, Barry Fitzgerald, and then I saw them do their talk together. Now, Barry was one I really wanted to see because he's written his new book called Influence, and that fascinates me completely. That was really, really interesting to listen to. And I think he sold out of his books on the day, didn't he, actually?
He was taking orders,
He was taking orders. We were. It's because we were
Why were we too late, Terry?
Because we were talking.
What was we asking him?
He was arguing over a specific point in his talk.
Okay, do you want to enlighten us?
No, Ashley.
We took a bit longer getting... I set Kerry a challenge on the Sunday, didn't I, Kerry? And one of the questions you had to ask, which probably delayed us in getting back there, was this particular question regarding the mongoose.
Right, but on the car on the way, we were going to the car. We were travelling up on the second day, and we were talking about Harry Price. And I said, no, I think he's great, because we were talking about physical mediumship and stuff like that. I said, I think he's great, but I think he loses his credibility by taking on cases like the talking mongoose. And we had quite a little heated discussion about the talking mongoose situation. And as she said, I bet if you ask everybody at the convention about whether or not they would investigate the talking mongoose, everybody will say yes. So I said, right, you challenged me. And me, you know me with a challenge, Paul.
Yes.
See, Ashley has got this about me. So everybody, I was asking everybody about the talk. I took this challenge and I asked everybody, and I was thinking everybody would go, don't be so ridiculous. Of course you wouldn't investigate talking monkeys. What are you talking about? Oh my God, everybody said, God, yes, of course I would investigate a talking mongoose. And I was like, oh my God. Even today I did a pre-record interview with Ashley Thorpe, who's just done a film about polyrectory. I asked him, and even he said yes, he would investigate the talking mongoose. So I am wrong. I admit I'm wrong. I'm saying it in public. I'm admitting I'm wrong. And you should be open-minded and be prepared to investigate everything and not discount anything. And that is one thing I did learn at Paraforce this weekend.
Well,
That's what
as I said
about after that talk, because I asked Barry Fitzgerald about that.
And I remember you asked me as well, and I said yes, I would take that investigation, just simply because if it's the bloke, because I said to you, who's reporting this talking mongoose to you? I said if it's the bloke who owns the mongoose, then he needs a psych test, because to rule that out. But if it's the mongoose, then obviously Kerry needs a psych test.
But I spoke to Vivien about this. I did speak to Vivien about this as well. And what did you say to me, Vivien?
Well, it depends how you perceive the mongoose to be talking. I mean, I'm taking it's a live mongoose and not a dead thing.
Yeah, it's alive.
And I have seen a snake and a mongoose fight each other, and it went on for hours. And I suppose from the sounds that the mongoose makes, sounds like talking. It depends how you perceive it. So, yeah I would go and investigate the talking mongoose. I would.
That makes sense, actually. I could,
And everybody was in agreement with that, apart from me going, really? Would you really do that?
And you get talking dogs on Britain's Got Talent, so why not?
Oh, God.
Just so you know, Kerry, I'm just dancing around my living room a little bit.
I know. Happy dance. You're giving it you're wrong, I'm right kind of dance, aren't you, Asley? Yes, I know. God. Never going to live this one down.
Not no more.
I've got a talking cat if you want to come investigate that. You ask him, have you been a good boy, John? He says, no!
But does he give messages is what I want to know.
It just says no.
Well, if you ask leading questions, then yes, he's a psychic cat.
We'll send Kerry down to that one.
Oh,
you're welcome here anytime, Kerry. Door's always open.
Oh, thank you, Viv. I'm not going to take you up on that. Oh, I won't leave you alone now. You know this.
That's fine. I've had people in the house all week. You know, some of the guest speakers leading up to Paraforce. So I've only just got my house back, and I've got to do a load of housework now. It's horrible here.
It's I had Ashley all weekend, and I know he made such a mess. And he's left me a list of jobs to do. This is what I like. I looked at we were working on the Friday before we came up on a case that we're working on. And then I only actually had a chance to see what he wrote. And he's written me this list of things I need to do. Oh. I was like, on the Sunday night, I'm looking at it thinking, oh, I see. That's what I've got to do, is it? He's really good at delegation. That's what I've noticed about our Ashley.
I had Gert and William Becker and Natasha staying with me for a week before Paraforce, so I was entertaining them and taking them out all week, keeping them happy. So they would want to come and attend Paraforce and actually give us a talk.
See, Gert was amazing. I loved Gert.
I did. The energy just off that bloke is just amazing.
He is awesome, isn't he?
He is. I found his talk really fascinating. Really interesting guy. How did you meet him?
Me?
Yeah.
Someone making coffee?
I saw being noisy. I met him. I went to Holland. Was it last year or the year before? And I spoke at Paracon Holland, but I've met him before then. It's been a while now. I've been chatting to him on Facebook and talking to Gert. Yeah.
The energy of that man is unbelievable, and It just filled the room. It was really good. Yeah.
He's a lovely guy, and I've known him for a little while as well on Facebook. And to be fair, that was another good thing about Paraforce. It was the first time I got to actually meet him face to face, because I've been promising to go to the Netherlands for ages, but never managed to get over there because of other stuff. But because of Paraforce, I actually managed to meet him face to face, which was brilliant.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't understand what he says. I just smile and go, "Yeah, all right, Gert."
Just smile.
He has got a very strong
places.
accent. Yeah, he has got a very strong accent. But he is astonishing. I say, his energy is amazing, and he's so full of life. He's great. I thought he was a great person.
He is, yeah.
I did miss his talk though. That's one of the ones I missed because I was in with Sandra Dunn at the same time. And she's lovely, Sandra Dunn.
Yeah.
I didn't see her ironing board, Sean.
No, I didn't either. She's another one that I think did absolutely brilliant. She was as nervous as anything up till 3 o'clock in the morning, preparing what she was going to say, and then she says it just went. She said I didn't have to use any of my notes. She said I just talked.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was, you could see she was so nervous when she started, and you're willing, when someone's as nervous as that, you're willing them to just relax and just tell their story. And that's exactly what she did. Just within 5 minutes, she was just talking about how she worked and her journey as a medium. And again, fantastic listening to her. She was brilliant. And it was one of those people that you go, I'll talk to you later. And then later sort of never really sort of got into that deep conversation that you wanted, but you're going to go on and have that conversation after the event with them. Yeah. And absolutely brilliant lady. I loved her to bits. She was brilliant.
She's great, Sandra.
Yeah.
I don't think I met anybody I didn't like, to be fair. To be fair.
No, I can't say I did either.
That was good.
What did you think of the hog roast?
Oh, God.
Very nice.
I love a hog roast. I was getting very hangry by the time they dished it up. I was like, give me my hog roast. That was a different side that Asley and Elizabeth hadn't seen before.
I was a little bit scared, I'll be honest.
Never seen it before, because I don't often get that hungry. And I was like, oh my God, I was literally drooling for that hog roast. It was amazing. Not enough meat, though. That's the only thing I would say. Not enough.
Yeah.
I just thought, I could tell you was very hangry. Because you sort of
the hangry before.
It was so funny, right? It was just a case of when you came round to sit down, you sort of walked past me, and you sat down, and then Asley was behind you, and you was like, "Sit down, Asley."
Okay. Oh my God, my lovely friend Kerry has just turned into this horrible person. What's wrong with you? I went, I need to eat. And then he came round. I went off for a cigarette, and he came round and he went, it's open. I went, get in the queue. I will join you in a second. Poor Asley.
Yeah.
I tried to find Gert to see if I could find it. You might have been possessed or something like that, so I thought you might get the demonology side of him out or something. I don't know.
Exorcism of the hangry.
Yeah.
It's okay, just feed me. At that point, when I get to that point, you feed me. It's fine. Yeah. And then I go back to being lovely again.
Did you, did Viv or Sean actually get a chance to do any investigating after the convention?
No.
No.
Because you took me and Asley into the cellar. You gave us a little preview in the cellar, didn't you?
We went to the cellar for a little while, and then when I came back up, I think I sort of chatted to Donna and Barry for a little while, and then I think I slipped away and went back to the hotel to get some shut-eye because I knew that everybody else was catered for, so I cheated a little bit.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I think on the first day I sloped off about 10, half past, something like that. I was absolutely knackered first day.
It was one of those situations though where when it came to the end on the Saturday, you kind of didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
Joe Chin has joined us. Good evening, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Add him to the radio.
I don't think I've got him on Skype yet.
No, I've not got him on Skype either.
Ah.
Joe, message me on Facebook your Skype details, and we'll add you into the call. If you want to, that is.
Joe, the pin-up, the best pin-up.
Yeah, pin-up.
Yeah.
You can ask him about Nipplegate.
Oh, yeah, definitely message me your
more.
Skype contact.
I say no more.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So what I would like to know, Viv and Sean, is what happened afterwards? Because there was quite a few of you staying in a hotel, weren't there?
Oh, my God. Well, some of us went up into a room and played Cards Against Humanity after being inebriated anyway. I think there was Gert, Neri, myself, Sandra, Donna Fitzgerald, Malcolm Robinson and his wife Carol. There was a few of us up there, and it just kept getting louder and louder and louder.
It got to the point where the receptionist at the hotel was going around putting "please be quiet" signs all in the hallways.
When we came out of the room, we weren't in there for very long, but when we came out after a short game, Sandra went out before any of us, so the reception asked her if she'd like a bottle of ice water and an ice lolly, and ever so nice and lovely. When we came out, we just got the stares like, I know what you did and you are evil, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think if we ever try to book into the Premier Inn at Braintree again, it might be full.
I know Elizabeth was staying there as well, wasn't she?
I think Joe was playing as well. He was a guilty party too.
What's Cards Against Humanity? I don't know this game. Can you enlighten me?
Oh dear.
I know. I've never played this.
It's a great game.
I've heard of it, but I've never played it either.
Well, can someone tell us, or is it not
Secret.
for public consumption?
Probably not for radio consumption.
You get a black card with a statement on it, and you have 6 white cards with some answers. They're not very nice answers, but you've got to find the worst and most sickest answer that fits the black card question. And if yours is the sickest out of all of them, and the person that reads out the black card agrees that yours is the best one, you get the black card. And the idea is to collect as many black cards as possible.
I could possibly win that.
Oh, I see. That kind of game.
Yes, that kind of game.
Sounds like my kind of party.
And when you've had a few drinks, it's even worse, isn't it, Ash?
It is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Oh, dear.
I think I need to play that game.
I do. I think I'll be quite good at it.
There's drinks involved as well, so definitely quite a party.
Yeah, I wouldn't need the drink, but yeah.
I don't normally drink, and I was absolutely hammered, and I didn't know how I was going to get up the next morning to do, like, to drive people. And it was awful for me, really.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, awful, Viv. Yeah, I feel your pain.
yeah, Malcolm Robinson was the worst one. I'm blaming him.
Oh, Malcolm's the ringleader every time.
Yeah, he's always the ringleader.
Oh, bless him.
I'm so staying at your hotel next time.
I think we're all booking into that. The minute they book this Paraforce, the next Paraforce, we're going to be like, where are you staying? Book it.
Absolutely.
No, seriously, Malcolm's lovely, Joe's lovely. Everyone, we all had a good time, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, didn't we, Sean?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, all the guests, they were fantastic. Like, there's no egos, no airs and graces. They're just you meet them, they're normal people, and they just love to have a laugh. And they're not, I'm a guest, I'm going to the room, I don't want to mingle. They're fantastic, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that everyone was sort of mingling and talking to each other, and it was.
Yeah. It's quite funny as well when you stood out, perhaps like example, stood outside the pub having a cigarette with Joe, or you sat inside with Barry. General public are walking past doing double takes at them as if to say, well, I know them from somewhere.
Yeah.
Or if they've seen them on GHI or TV, they're trying to think, who is that? I know them from somewhere.
That's it. Start selling tickets outside as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Steph has actually said, Paul, does that mean I can have the rest of your honey JD?
No.
And Andy Radley says, Viv, you little sod, you got me drunk.
It's good to let your hair down, Andy. What are you talking about?
Oh, my goodness. And Joe is, I don't know what this means, actually, but I'm just dropping off a jobby. You know what that means.
We explained Billy Connolly, and when he talks about jobbies, what actually is a jobby.
Ah, I see. And he did make another comment where he says, blank, blank, my bum. So the after party is definitely one we missed, Paul, clearly.
It is, clearly. We won't be missing it next year, I believe.
No, I believe that, definitely.
It's good fun. It's good fun.
Yeah. Oh, it does sound it. Got to be done. Has to be done.
Definitely. Most definitely. So, Asley, out of everything that you saw and witnessed that weekend, what was the one thing that stood out in your mind? I know I'm asking one thing. I know it's difficult, but can you pin it down?
Other than the mongoose thing, you mean?
Other than my mongoose thing, yes.
I think things like this are. It's always the things that surprise me the most, that stand out the most. And as I think put in my blog, hands up. I suppose it's Michael D. Because I always saw him as the funny YouTuber, but then you got to find out a bit more about his story and his actual interest in the paranormal, and then the fact that he stood up there, like we said earlier, and asked specific questions that got everyone going and talking in a good old paranormal discussion, as I call it. That kind of stood out for me quite well. I mean, that's because he's, I suppose, in that respect. I mean, obviously the other guys like Joe and Barry as well, and all that, their talks, and everybody else's talks as well are great as well, and also the picture as well with of David with John Blackburn and stuff, like all kinds of cool stuff. But I think Michael, because I wasn't expecting it, he's the one that stood out. I think I mentioned that to you on the way home as well.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect it and didn't see it coming. It was like, there you go, bosh, and that's why that stands out to me a little bit more.
I have to say it was great because we. I mean, I did a show at 9 on the Friday, and then Asley came over and we spoke paranormal, and then we spoke paranormal 24/7 until he literally kicked me out of the car when he dropped me home. He was like still moving, and he's like, "Right, you're home, go."
Oh.
But we spoke paranormal like the whole time, and when you love the paranormal and everything that entails. And, you know, you able to live and breathe it and talk to people about your passion and hear different points of view. That is what made that weekend for me. It was absolutely awesome. And investigating with people that I hadn't had a chance to investigate with before. Yeah. And just meet new people that, like, I mean, the only thing I would say is you kind of need your Facebook emoji, like your Facebook profile photo. Because everybody has their real face. So you're like, who are you? And you go, oh, God, I've been friends with you for ages or I've interviewed you on the radio. That's what you look like. Do you know what I mean? Little like name tag things. That was brilliant for me because we'd talked to Michael D for we've done interviews with him. To meet him face to face was brilliant. Barry Fitzgerald, an absolute icon for me. And some of the work he's done was brilliant. Joe Chin. Oh, I mean, I've been. He tried to Skype me the week before when he was at Toledo with my co-host on the American channel, and I missed it. So I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I missed it." So that was really great. Finally meeting him and talking to him, that was absolutely awesome. Oh, so many people. There were so many people, and meeting people that I hadn't come across before. I mean, Andy Radley being one of them. And we had some quite great discussions about investigating and situations. That was brilliant. And it's, just in other people from other radio shows like Tomo, like, Stephen, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved every single minute of it. And so for me, on my calendar next year, one thing is for sure, I will be attending paranormal conventions a little bit more.
Good.
I do agree, though. I think, you do need their Facebook avatar pictures on their ID tags. Because I think Andy Radley come up to me and he's like, "Hello, you're not going to say hello then?" And I'm like, "Who are you?" No disrespect. I was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Andy." And I'm like, "Andy who?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know you."
And even he wasn't a speaker, but Jason Day. I got a chance to speak to Jason Day. He's written so many books that I've read, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Jason Day!" You know what I mean? It was like, there's people like that you're getting a chance to talk to, and like you said before earlier in the show. Everyone was so friendly, they're so open, they're so happy to talk to you about their passion that's your passion. And the melting pot of ideas at times was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I must admit, I did speak to Andy for a little while on the Saturday and the Sunday. And, once we sorted out an issue that there was, it was absolutely, fine. And it was just, it was good to listen to what he had to say as well, mainly about the Crescent Temple Barns and stuff, and learning from him as well. And I'm looking forward to the next one. To be fair, it's like, hurry up.
Yeah, where we going? 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 Where we going?
Kerry, one thing we didn't mention. What did you think of your goodie bag?
Oh, I loved my goodie bag.
Oh, yeah.
It's still sat in the back of Thomas's car at the moment, and I keep nagging him to drop it off to me. And that was brilliant. I loved my little goodie bag, so thank you so much for that. That was brilliant.
Well, we hope everybody liked them, and that last year everyone went mad for them, didn't they, Sean?
Yeah, they did.
So we thought we'd do it again this year while we could.
I think that is a good touch as well. And it makes it a little bit more value for money as well, which is quite good.
Yeah. I don't know if that DVD's any good, though. I've not watched it myself. So.
Like I say, it's in the back of a friend's car that was there, Thomas, who I work with as well. And I keep messaging him saying, "When you're dropping my goodie bag to me, I want my goodie bag." He's like, "I told you to pick it up."
I've lost it now.
No, he won't have lost it. He daren't.
No. I spoke to Tom yesterday. He's still got it in his car.
Good. I'll be seeing him shortly, so he will make sure. No, bless him. He's lovely, and he won't lose it for me. He'll keep it. He's that kind of guy. Or he knows he'll die.
Yeah.
They were contacting him from the other side, going, "What is he like?"
Well, he's on a Trident contract, and for this life and the next. So, yeah.
Excellent. I do like that.
So, even if the team dies, they've still got to come on events.
No, there was plenty of information. You knew what was going on where.
Yeah,
and that's like there was plenty of like leaflets and stuff that you could pick up a copy of the Haunted magazine. You had the goodie bag. Everybody, as I say, everybody was so welcoming and happy to talk to you. And there was, even in the stalls, they were all so friendly. It was, I say, brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed myself this weekend, just gone. And I'm still buzzing. I am still buzzing. Can you tell? I'm still buzzing from my weekend.
And that's what it's all about, though, I think.
I know.
I think Viv will agree with me. It's so humbling. For every time you put your Facebook on, there's like 40 notifications and people are still talking. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
To be honest, Sean, I had to turn my phone off because it was going crazy. It went bing, 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 bing. I turned the bloody thing off. Just walked in through the door. I want a cup of tea before I do anything else.
Yeah, and you're trying to keep up with them all to say thank you and thank you. Oh, it's like, just give me a break, please, 5 minutes.
Well, you put on a great event. That's the kind of feedback you get. So
it is the kind of feedback we want. It's great.
It's brilliant.
And that's what keeps you going for the next one.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It makes it all worthwhile. I mean, even doing like smaller events is a lot of hard work goes into putting some of these events together. And then on the night, it's really enjoyable. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, I can relax now. And that's just with the smaller events.
We got to give a big shout out to Andy Radley, actually, and Essex Ghost Hunting team for looking after us, helping with the venue and taking charge and doing the ghost hunt on the evening at Paraforce. So thank you, Andy. Thank you, Wendy, and all the team at Essex Ghost Hunting team.
Yeah, without them, then probably wouldn't have happened at Cressing Barnes. They were instrumental in getting us the venue and helping set it all up.
Yeah. No, that was good.
It was love, and that's the other thing. There was loads of different teams there, so that was really nice to actually meet some of these teams because you join their like pages. From a radio point of view, you come across a lot of teams, but you can't know them. You can't know every team, but that's one thing I noticed. There was loads of different little teams there, and that was brilliant, actually meeting those people and getting a chance to talk to those people.
Yeah.
And, and just people that are doing the same thing as as we do on a normal basis, apart from the other work we do. We go out and do events and investigations too. So it was great talking to those people too. And the guys from that team, Andy Radley's team, were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Totally agree.
It's nice to be able to bring all these teams together.
Yeah.
Even if just once a year, all these teams come together. Like I said, the people you speak to on Facebook and you don't think you'll meet, you get on well with them. It's nice to just bring everybody together so you meet them face to face, you can discuss things, talk about things. And it's part of what we want it to be, is bringing everybody together.
Yeah. I mean, as much as social media is quite good for bringing people together, sometimes I think what people say is taken out of context sometimes. And, I mentioned earlier about all this backstabbing and stuff that goes on behind the scenes. You don't get none of that at the convention.
No.
There's
too much goes off in the paranormal on social media. Too much backstabbing and arguing, things taken in the wrong context. It's nice to actually be able to see these people face to face and think, you are nice people.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I couldn't fault anybody at the convention for any of it. It was a fantastic weekend.
But, I've got to say that even Barry Fitzgerald got quite excited because one of the teams came down from the Black Country. Now, I don't know if anybody knows Paul Mould. Barry Fitzgerald saw him and said, "Oh, look, if you watch that TV programme, Vikings," and I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Was his name? Is it Rydor or Reiklaw or something like that?" Mm-hmm. He said, "That's him." He said, I'd like to have a photograph with him if I may. And I spoke to Paul Mould and he said, yeah, no problem. I said, you think you saw this bloke out of Vikings? He said, I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. We had loads of pictures of the two of them together. But Barry was so excited that he thought he looked like this actor from Vikings.
Oh, my goodness.
In a funny way, it's Barry showing his appreciation for this other team as well. He didn't know how far he travelled, and having pictures all together like that, and for Barry to sort of notice them, I think was a big thing for him as well. So not just from teams meeting other teams, but from the guest speakers as well. I think they get quite excited as well.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell that. You could tell that the guest speakers were just as excited as the guests. Yeah. Everybody was just so happy to talk to you. From the speaker's perspective, no one seemed aloof. You didn't feel like you couldn't approach anybody. And that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was almost like a fresher breath air, to be honest. It was something different and new, obviously from my perspective, because I've never been to one of these before. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what all the guest speakers, bless them, they're fantastic. They do us proud.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. They definitely did. Well, I think the whole weekend with everybody that was involved did everybody else proud, and we just came along for the ride and enjoyed it. Really.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. That's the main bit.
Roll on 2018. Have you got any plans already?
Shh. we're working on it, aren't we?
Yeah, we're looking at venues, see where will work best for what we want.
Yeah.
Speaking to guest speakers, there will be one or two returnees, shall we say?
Yeah.
That were there this year. But the way we see that, it's not a case of getting staying and having the same guest speakers. It's a case of we're probably moving a little bit further Midlands north again, and it gives people that way chance to see these speakers.
Yeah.
People that couldn't make it down to the south this year. So it's giving people from different areas chance to see the speakers that, even though we had them on the previous year, if we have them on again, it's still going to refresh people, and they've got that many things to talk about. No two talks are ever the same.
No, I did notice that.
Yeah.
We might have to do 2 rooms again, Sean.
Yeah, it's looking that
way. Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We don't want to stick with just having a little handful of speakers. We like to give you a good variety. So there's that many different subjects that people are talking about. It gives people the choice. And by trying to stagger them over the 2 days, if you miss one the first day, you've still got a chance to see the second day.
Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy that as well, the diversity of the subjects, because not only did you have the ghost hunters, you had someone talking about aliens and cryptozoology, UFOs, and then you had Joe and Barry talking about the Ghost Hunters International, and you know, their adventures as they were travelling off and around the countries. I must admit, for me, I quite really enjoyed that talk because it was quite funny. It was so hilarious, and Joe's brilliant. It's fantastic. I mean, I enjoyed all of the talks. Don't get me wrong, but I think for me that was the funniest. It was really good.
You're talking about the last one on the end where it was Barry and Joe together?
Yeah. When they were talking about the Ghost Hunters International and Joe wrote on the wall.
The adventures, the adventures of Ghost Hunters International. That was hysterical. Listening to the backstory behind what we saw on the television. Yeah. And what some of the photographs that were on the slide. Yeah, that was very funny.
I can imagine, you take Joe anywhere and you could just have a blast.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I have heard this.
We've had requests of Paul to come back again, Paul Bradford, because we had him last year.
Yeah.
But with Paul, it's down to, because he's the opposite side of the States, it's down to cost. But, I mean, we'd love to have him back, but where things stand at the moment, it's all down to cost with him. But everybody enjoyed them two together, Barry and Paul, last year.
Yeah.
And Paul's a funny guy when he's doing his talk as well, like Joe.
Yeah.
But
no,
it'd be lovely one year to get the old GHI team together, but I don't think that'll happen.
Well, never say never. You might one day. When you're making millions on the para conventions.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You need to do 2. You need to do 2.
Take it on Dragon's Den.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it. Why not? If you don't ask, you don't get. That's it. So, have we had any more questions or anything in the chat room, Kerry? Because I know you're monitoring.
No, they're all
that.
responding. They're actually just responding to what we're talking about. Andy Radley says, and Zelda was there, Viv. as well. And says he loves you too. So thank you so much for that, he's saying. Steph is saying the awards rounded it off brilliantly. Joe is he's in the chat room saying he had a great time, except when they started to play with me nips, which I'm assuming is nipple story. Nipplegate. So they're actually just responding more to what we're talking about rather than questions in the chat room. Now, one thing Asley is doing is he did a blog on the lead up to Paraforce. And he's writing up a blog from day one he's done. That's out now. And he's supposed to be doing day two, but we dragged him on the show instead. So so go over to www.ashleyknibb.com to check out the blog to see what Ash's take was on it. And as I say, keep your eyes on his website for day two. What can we expect from that, Asley?
Well, I'm just running out now, so it's much more of what we've been doing. We saw John Blackburn. Who's Jack Blackburn? John Blackburn working with David. Tomo's Room 66 with Jason Day. What else did I catch up on in there? Some bits about a mongoose or two, maybe. Barry Fitzgerald's talk. And also the little bit of work that we observed where John done some work with David with a small group after the main event sort of thing, a bit behind closed doors, a little bit on that as well. So
cool. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Do you reckon you'll finish that tonight, Ash?
Well, that sounds like pressure, doesn't it? I'm hoping to.
And the amount of work you've left me, I'm putting pressure back on you now.
Have you not done it yet? I'm joking. Tonight or tomorrow night it'll be up for definite.
So guys, definitely check out Ash's website for the day two. And if you haven't read day one, don't forget to check that out as well. I've shared the link in the chat room as always, guys. So do that. And I've also shared the Parasearch. Sorry, so used to saying Parasearch. Paraforce website because they've got the coming soon poster up already. I know. No.
So, as soon as that comes up, I'm going to buy my tickets first, then sort out the accommodation. I've already had a few team members actually ask if they're going to go next year. And I said, yep, you're going to be manning the store while I listen to all the guest speakers.
Oh my goodness! See, you're another good one at delegation, aren't you, Paul?
Well, I run the company, so I'm allowed to do these sort of things.
I'm doing something wrong here, Viv. Are we getting a theme here?
I can feel your pain, Kerry. I feel your pain.
So out of the two of you, between Viv and Sean, who's the delegator?
I'm the one that has to sort of pull Sean back and go, shh, remember, don't say anything to anyone because he wants to tell the world, bless him. Yes. So I say, no, we've got to wait until it's all in the bag, signed, sealed and delivered, and then you got permission. All right then, Viv. I sort of bring him back to earth. And he does the same to me as well.
So we'll remember then, next time we want any exclusives, we get Sean on first. Right.
No, I did try this. I did try this the weekend, but it wasn't divulging nothing. I will say that.
Sean was a good boy.
Yes. I even give him my best fluttery eyes, and no, wasn't divulging nothing.
Oh dear.
All top secrets.
I think the fact that Viv was lurking in the background stopped him.
It was a little ghost wandering around the reception area. Little camera in it. Kept an eye on you.
Hey, that's an idea, Sean.
Imagine the footage you might capture then.
Let's get a few of them for next year and just put them in all different places.
Roving CCTV.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that'd be funny. Yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, so
I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys. I'm still exhausted, but still buzzing. Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
I've gone past tired. I've gone past. I was with William Becker this morning. I had to drive back down to Essex, pick him up. I drove to his hotel, which was a lovely, lovely haul, I must admit. And then we drove on to Essex because he wanted to go and see Colchester Castle. So we went to Colchester Castle today, did a tour around there and drove back again to be here with you guys.
Cool.
Brilliant. See, the other thing is you get to do things with the guests before the convention actually goes out, like live, as it were.
Well, Gert insisted on coming a week early and William was here a week early, so I had to sort of entertain them a little bit. So we took them to Castle Rising. We went and looked around that with Norman Fahey, or Uncle Norm as we know him as.
Yeah.
We went through to a few ancient places and burial mounds and old churches, and then we ended up at Binham Priory. We did that in one day. Another day we went to Flag Fen, Stony Camp. We sort of took it a bit easy because we spent a lot of time at Flag Fen, so that was just William Becker and I. We then did the Highgate Cemetery tour. That was interesting, where I had a bit of a weird experience that I still can't get over. I'm not saying that the cemetery is haunted, but I had an experience that I can't explain, which sort of did shake me a little bit in the cemetery.
Do you want to tell us about that?
Well, I found Jeremy Beadle's grave.
Oh.
And I went... Don't laugh. I went behind the grave, sort of hugged the headstone to have a photograph. Photograph was taken, and as I was carefully sort of walking in between the graves to get back to the front again, I felt a pressure on my back, and it pushed me sort of on top of Jeremy Beadle's grave, and I was mortified that I actually stood on it, you know. And everybody else was laughing, saying, "Oh, you know, Beadle's about. That's the sort of thing he would have done." And I thought, that's not funny. Like, I feel really horrible that I've stood on his grave. But they're all laughing, thinking it's hilarious. Like, oh, don't worry about it. He most probably meant you to do that, you know.
That would have gone through my mind as well, to be fair. Yeah,
I think
Beadle's about.
Yeah, most people would have, because he was such a funny guy, wasn't he? In life, he was the ultimate prankster.
He tried.
Yeah, but I felt awful, but I couldn't stop myself. I felt myself go sideways, and I was being pushed. I felt a hand on me, pushing me. I'm not saying it was him, but it felt like a hand to me, pushing me onto his grave.
Oh, anything else? Did you do anything else before?
I can't remember. Oh, we had dinner in Mill Hill and drove back slowly. I can't remember. It's all morphing. Oh, we went to Redoubt Fort overnight. That was horrible. Sleeping in the car to get a few hours rest so we could drive them to the event, you know, on the. But yeah, anyway, we did quite a lot in such a short space of time. But
yeah,
you crammed loads in.
It's all a blur. It's all a blur.
So what's next? Are you taking a holiday or a break?
Well, it'd be nice, but I doubt it. I think that getting a venue sorted so we can lock a date in, and then at least that way we can keep the buzz going, keep everybody talking about it, because then we can hopefully announce everything, the date, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
that sounds like a plan.
Do people? Everybody that's in the chat room and you three guys, anybody that guest speaker wise that you'd like to see next year?
Me. Sorry. Did I say
so knew that was coming. Do you know what? I'd be interested to listen to Kev Kerr.
Yes,
we've had him on the show quite a lot.
all right, okay.
And he's really fascinating to listen to. Yeah, especially Bob the Orange as well.
Andy,
no comment.
No.
No comment. We just message us with your ideas, who you would like. We won't promise, but we'll see what we can do.
Yes, we'll try our best. But...
Cool.
Oh, there's so many. It's going to be a list coming. There is going to be a list coming.
We do get inundated. We put it out before, and we got inundated, and some absolutely sort of silly ones, but out of the good ones that we get, we'll try our best. But again, as I say, we can't promise.
No promises, but we do what we can.
Well, Andy Redley in the chat room, he said Elvis. He wants Elvis.
Elvis is busy in the chip shop.
Yeah, we tried this year, but he was busy
he's
serving.
So busy serving, yeah.
His gold lame suit was in the dry cleaners. He said he couldn't do it.
Damn.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes.
Maybe year after then.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. I can't think of anyone else.
Oh, I can think of loads, but as I say, I'll message you and a long list.
We'll give you a long list.
Yeah. Really? You'll be like, really? We're all these people.
We'll certainly read through them, won't we, Sean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then ignore it.
Yeah.
Andy says, well worth a go. About the Elvis comment, I think that was.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So, onwards and next year, it's all go again.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Looking forward. Looking forward to it indeed.
So, Ashley, what's next for you?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yep, you.
Sorry, I was still working.
He's still blogging. He's still trying to get this blog done because I put pressure on him now.
I was also talking to Maxine and John about doing some work a bit like the skull experiment with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just literally just talking to them as she's listening to you guys as well. So maybe something around that kind of looking at something like that with them. I've got some other cases that you mentioned that we're working on earlier, which we can't mention.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about that. And all the bits and pieces involved. I've got an investigation actually this month. I'm doing one in Swanage. So I've got an experiment more this month. And then I think we've got one in November as well, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, 25th of November.
Yeah, there's some exciting experiments coming up that Ash is working on, so that's going to be fascinating. Working with Ashley and reading his blogs about that. And that's one thing Ashley's really, really good at, is taking concept and pushing it forward. So actually, I want to hear Asley Knibb talk next year.
Just laughing. Sorry, Ash. Even if we had Ash, we would swear him to secrecy, so he wouldn't even tell you, Carrie.
Right.
Oh, I know already.
Ashley knows.
Shall I go, because you seem to be talking about it?
No, we're talking about you now in front of your face.
Sorry,
We're doing it behind your back. We're now doing it in front of your face.
You just carry on writing your blog.
Sorry.
Write your blog, babe.
That's it. He's trying to multitask, poor bloke.
Men can't.
I was about to say that.
What?
Men can't multitask.
Okay.
Oh my goodness me. Paul?
Yes.
It's your show. I know I've kind of like taken over this, but carry on.
Well,
I do this every week. You know this.
Men can multitask. We just don't want to tell you about it.
Even Andy says, if you say so.
It's not in the genes. It's not in the genes.
No.
Scientific fact, I think you guys will find.
No, lies. It's all lies.
I'll tell you something. something that from what happened over the weekend. Joe Chin is a bloody good actor. Do you know that?
Really?
I know what's coming. Yeah.
No, because we played a prank on Barry Fitzgerald, and he fell for it, hook, line and sinker. But it took some acting on behalf of Joe Chin, making out he was a medium and falling on the floor and all this sort of thing, and me trying to help him. And but yeah, we got him, so it's quite funny. It is a really, really good actor.
Did you record that?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did it privately. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of bleeping at the end of it if we'd have recorded it.
I bet.
He's got his dark glasses on and he does his poses. He looks like he's some famous actor, doesn't he? Like he could be in films, playing a baddie, the leader of a triad gang or something, you know.
Hence why you won pin-up of the year.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It was a really good weekend, and I urge anybody to go to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Bring your friends, bring your mum, bring your dad, bring your grannies, bring whoever you want. There must be something there that would interest you, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there was one couple there, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and he'd actually bought his wife the VIP tickets for an anniversary present.
Okay.
And they loved every minute of it. She's the best anniversary present she's ever had.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm a bit sappy with stuff like that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So, if anybody's got an anniversary coming up, there's a good idea.
Yeah.
And Andy insists that you bring whiskey. Just putting that out there.
Just for him, for his raffle prize.
Just for his raffle prize.
And if you get everything sorted before Christmas, you get a perfect Christmas present.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing.
I think that might be where I have to go with too.
Yeah, that's it. Use it part of the budget.
Well, this is true, but I'm trying to get a Mac Pro at the moment, so you know.
Paraforce ticket comes first.
Yeah, I have to be there.
Hang on, rather than having Easter eggs, buy a Paraforce ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there were so many occasions that we could just insist that everyone buys us these Paraforce tickets.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant weekend. Thank you so much for putting that on, and it was well organised, fantastic speakers. Just brilliant, absolutely just brilliant, and great company. So thank you. From my heart to yours, thank you, because I had an awesome weekend.
I have to second that. It was a brilliant weekend, and yeah, still buzzing. Just like everyone else's, really.
Big thank you from me as well, Viv, and Sean as well for having me.
Well, we want to thank you for coming and support. Just by being there, you're supporting us and you're being part of it. And without you, people that come in through the doors, there wouldn't be any Paraforce UK. So we want to thank everyone that attended, basically, speakers, public, teams, Essex Ghostbusters, whoever. You've all supported us, so we want to say thank you.
So without the paying public coming to these things, they wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So you're all brilliant, all wonderful. Thank you to every single person that walked through that door.
It was amazing, and I'm not going to miss any more.
No, I think that's definitely the way we're going forward, isn't it, Paul? We ain't going to miss it.
Absolutely. I'm going to have. I want a stall up there next year.
You've already got your order at the beginning of the show, babe.
Yeah,
you already did that, you know.
You could have, Paul, why not have two?
Oh, we could, couldn't we? Yeah, we could have one for radio as well.
Yeah, one for radio, one for the events.
Yeah, sorted. That's what we'll do. We'll have two of them, and then and then VIP ticket for myself to have a wander around all day.
I love that. It's just you, just for me.
Well,
you're very welcome, Andy Radley. I loved that big hug we had. I had big hugs with loads of people. I loved that bit.
Did you get a big hug from someone you didn't know? They were the best ones.
Oh, God, yeah. Loads of people.
So they give you a hug and you're like...
At the end, I was just going around hugging everybody. They were like, I don't think we've met. I don't care. Just hug me.
You're on Facebook somewhere. Just do it. Yeah.
She was like dragging me away by my hair going, enough, girl. You've embarrassed yourself with the mongoose. Now come away from the people.
That's when he didn't lose you.
That's what he tried to lose me, yeah.
That's it. Oh dear. And well, as we've pretty much come to the end of the show now, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, babe.
Hour and a half, and no adverts either.
Naughty, Paul. Really naughty.
Never
I'm
mind.
going to report you to the management yet again.
That's all right. I'll have words with the management. It's fine. I'll play I'll play it on the way out. But so yeah, thank you to Viv, Sean, and Asley for joining us tonight. Absolutely fantastic.
Thanks for me.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, guys.
Enjoyed
it was a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure having you guys on. And next time we'll be talking about 2018.
Yes. That's it. In fact, as soon as you launch it, you're on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll book that date. I want to thank everyone in the chat room, Andy Radley and Joe and Stephanie and whoever else was in the chat room. I can't see many other people actually. Kerry was there.
Sparky, and
Stephen,
Maxine was listening. Joe, obviously, absolutely brilliant.
That's it. I'm still scrolling through, and I can still see Andy and Stephen. That's about it, really. I'll give up on that. But thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's been an absolutely amazing show, an hour and a half special on the Paraforce weekend that we just had. Definitely go out and buy your tickets for next year as soon as they come out, because it's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it in my bones already.
And we've had a little hint. Sean let a little hint snip there as well. He did. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Did I?
What's coming up on the show next week? What are we doing next week?
Oh, gosh, next week we are doing... Oh, I haven't got it in my diary. What are you doing next week, Paul, on your show?
I don't know. No idea. We'll find out later. It'll be a surprise. Okay. We're doing a surprise show next week.
Surprise show next week. For the rest of this week, tomorrow night, Haunted Histories, we've got Penny talking about Hinchingbrook House, which is a location I've not heard about before.
No, I can't say I've heard of that one either.
But that's just is always an interesting show. Thursday evening, we've got the KTPF Reload show, and I'm still waiting for the topic on that one. Andy Mercer's anniversary today, which is why I've not been told. And then Friday, joining the Dark Mirror crew in the studio to talk about his experiences at Sage Paraforce. God, I said Paraforce then. Sorry. To talk about his experiences about Sage, because that's another convention that's gone on recently. And on Sunday, I spoke to the amazing Jane Harris about her new documentary called Who Put Belle in the Witch Elm. So join us every night at 9 p.m. And we may even do a pop-up show on Saturday. But I've yet to talk to the guys about that, so we'll see.
Ooh, okay. Well, I've just looked up what we're doing next week. The next week's show is about mediums that make money from their gift. Is it right or is it wrong? That's what we're going to be discussing.
Join us next week to see that discussion.
So it's going to be a good one. We got a working medium that makes money on it, so we're going to be discussing with her whether it's right or wrong people should do it, because it's a gift, and should they be giving it out for free, or is it right that they can make money to live on? I don't know.
Well, we'll discuss that next week.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll discuss that next week.
Yes, indeed. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining me, and we shall see you all again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello.
Bye.
Harry
Bye.
Price. Dear. Good evening. If there's nothing myself and everybody else enjoy here on the other side more is the sit back and relax and listen to Parasearch Radio with its paranormal news, views and reviews from across the UK and beyond. Make sure to find out more about them on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web, whatever they are, to keep up to date with all their broadcasts throughout the week. And I hope you enjoy them as much as we do over here. Hello? Is anybody there?